This is Will Buchanan reporting for the Walk for Liberty.
It's June 18th, 2008, day 66. We have a visitor right next to our RV.
Jump.
He's just resting? Hi, Froggy. Hello.
Lick his back.
Lick it? Yeah. No way.
On the property right next to the campground where we're staying at, there's apparently a wood chipping operation. John said they started working at 6 in the morning and that they woke him up. Many people would say that the fact that that company was causing noise at an hour that they consider unacceptable is a clear-cut example of why there should be government noise or zoning ordinances.
But before you call for such ordinances, think for a moment about exactly what you're asking for.
First, government is just an organization which uses force to achieve its goals. If you call for a law to tell an individual or company what they can or can't do with their own property, then in essence, government force is acting as a proxy for what you want. You yourself wouldn't go over to that other person's property and impose your will on them or force them to leave.
So why does that make it okay for government to do the same thing, even if it's supposedly what a majority of the people want?
Here's another way of looking at it. If you use the force of government to tell somebody else what they're allowed to do with their own property,
then you're ignoring the fact that if somebody else gets into the power of government, the tables could be turned and the same thing could happen right back at you.
You might not like the noise they're making, but he might not like the color of your house, or the style of your hedges, or the height of your antenna.
Do you want the government telling you what you can do with your property?
But there are solutions, namely through using common sense and the free market. To take the example that I brought up earlier, the campground owner, if he had been far-sighted enough, could have purchased extra property to use as a buffer zone. Or, considering the fact that he already has the problem, a more practical solution might be to build a wall along that side of the property. It could be similar to the ones you see along interstate highways to keep the noise out of residential neighborhoods. And then there's also the free market idea of deed restrictions, which I discussed in a previous episode. He could purchase in an area where the neighbors agree not to produce noise above a certain level or during certain hours, and also agree to have it written into their deeds. That way, if later on a business decides to purchase one of the neighboring properties, it won't be able to set up a noisy wood chipping operation on it. High voltage inside. Stay out. Stay alive. No kids allowed on this street. I've noticed more Ron Paul signs going through this town than any other similar sized area. I believe Ron Paul did better in Idaho than he did in any other primary state.
And if I recall correctly, he even beat John McCain in one of the Idaho counties.
My leg is still hurting, and Brooks is too now. But we managed to go about a third miles. Here's our GPS position. This is Will Buchanan for blog.walkforliberty.com, signing off. Man, and I so wanted to run into that if it didn't say that.